Now we need to plant stuff. We need to plant stuff here to stop the kids running in. We plant some big spiky stuff. No, we won't. We were thinking of getting the giant Venus flytraps. Get the giant ones for the kids, you know. But no, I don't think the government would allow it. Hello, it's John Lord here at the end of June, and the gardens are actually, even though I say so myself, and self-praise is no praise, they're looking really well. We've had a very, shall we say, we've a very cool last few months. We didn't have a lot of rain actually, even though we didn't get the benefits of having sun instead. We had neither one or the other. So we got low temperatures, little bits of rain. In fact, some stuff was actually suffering. Some of the astilbes, which you have to watch out for, and even some of the hydrangeas were starting to suffer. And then we got a good bit of rain the last few days. But having said that, everything is doing really well. And we had a problem here with a rabbit, and we set 5 rabbit traps, and you have to check them twice a day just in case you catch him. You know, we're not trying to put him into solitary confinement or anything. We caught him and we just put him back over the wall again. He just gets in and he can't get out, and we can't open the gate to let him get out because then his mates might come in, so you end up with more. So we have to use the trap. So he's back outside, and he's probably happy to be back outside. But anyway, that was the rabbit sorted, and there was a damage. The rabbits are like humans, they're very picky. I was eating the Achilleas. All the young growth was damaged. Now I'm looking, if the rabbit is still around, this here will be eaten in a few days. But what will happen if the rabbit is gone, it'll just fill in and become normal. And we look at some of the other plants that he was eating. That Achillea there, it's got it all stripped, and you just keep an eye on it. I planted 2 yellow flowered poppies, the Icelandic poppies, and he'd eaten all the flowers. And he's very fond of the clover, sulphur clover, and this is the first time I've seen new leaves on it in a week. It's been about 6 weeks at it. Probably. Of course we have. We don't have to comment on that. It's so beautiful. It's the sea holly, one of the sea hollies. Big blue. That's all you need to remember. Get big blue. Full sun, bone dry conditions. Now he was here as well, and there's a lovely blue Malva, and eating it completely. But I think we can keep an eye on that, and we'll know very quickly. Now he damaged some stuff here, so bad I took it up, and I planted 2 lamb's ears, Stachys lanata, which I don't have in the place. It's lamb's ear. It's really grown for its foliage, but it's a lovely silver. I'm looking forward to it. That is a beautiful Euphorbia. I think it's called schillingii. It's just a lovely, everything about it is just lovely texture. Really, really nice. Really. An unusual geranium. But I planted 4 of them, and only 1 is flowering. And that's probably the way it's propagated, so we'll leave it for a year. Next year will be completely different. It might be micro-propagated, and suddenly if you get something micro-propagated, sometimes it produces loads of foliage and doesn't flower for a year because it doesn't make big enough buds to flower or growths to flower, and the following year it goes back to normal. So don't panic when that happens. Short and Sassy is about to come up. Helenium, short and Sassy, and Angel's fishing rod. It's a great name. Gets a little bit untidy. You have to go through it and remove. Oh, look at that. Try not to remove the flowers as well. That's a good tip. But you have to go with your secateurs because I can't have this in my hand. Anyway, now what were we going to talk about? Have a list of stuff to talk about. Yeah, Willowherb. We leave this down. This is a video about Willowherb. At this time of the year, it's the main weed And it's very therapeutic, but you just have to keep at it. Sometimes it looks like the plant, but you get sort of a sixth sense. Now, the fact we barked all these new areas that were replanted, it doesn't come up as much, but you just have to watch it. The Willowherb, look, it's here. It's just a constant thing, you'll always have it. Just have to keep at it. There it is again. Penstemons. Penstemons are great. Some of the older ones are better. That's an old one called Evelyn. Always reliable. Now it's nearly at the stage, not quite, but it's nearly at the stage that you remove spent flowering stems. And that will reflower and reflower and reflower right up to the frost. We need to do a bit of that. We get a chance. Bit of deadheading. I mean, that's a temporary. That's just temporary deadheading. And what we got here? Willowherb. So it's a Willowherb. It's a Willowherb day. It's one of the best Crocosmia. It's Paul's best yellow. And once again, that was lifted. It got too tight and congested, and you have to lift them every few years, split them, put them back. So it's a bit open still, and it's allowing, once again, Willowherb to come up through it. But next year that'll be much more tight, and it'll be better. This is, as I say, this is first year to split, so it's still hasn't fully recovered. But next, it's the best yellow Crocosmia you can get. Now look here. I think that's Fireworks, an Oenothera, and it's getting floppy, so we'll have to do a job on that. We're not sure about this Centaurea, but I kind of like it. So we're going to leave it. Then to mention two plants. Verbascum chaixii, this one here, it does self-seed a lot, so you have to watch it, but it is really, really good plant. But look what we have here. We have Galega. They're related to lupins, and you can see the similarities. There's the white, and what would that be? Lilac-y colour. Now we Chelsea chopped it. There's the cut ends. And it means that it won't fall over, because it always fell over. It was a real nuisance. This is a rose called Simply Peach, and I think it's one of the best roses I have come across in a long time. That's been really good for the last 6 weeks. Now, because it has single flowers, only one line of petals, you don't get as much petal fall, so it's a bit easier. Doesn't look as bad, but in about 2 weeks time we'll give that a good cut back, and then we'll get a second flush. Now look at this. You were a bit worried about that when it was put here in a hurry. When we were doing stuff over there, we took it out with a digger and stuck it in, and it's really come on. Look how lovely it is. That's Cornus controversa. It's beautiful. It's starting to thicken up. Next year it'll be even better. And look at this here. Can you get better than that? One of the sanguisorbers. Isn't that fantastic, the way it hangs down? I think it's pink brushes. Now, if I look inside here, see, this is a video about, it's not about planting stuff, it's about taking stuff up. That's more Willowherb. So, into the Willowherb. one of the most beautiful Maltese crosses. This is super. I planted that last year. It didn't do that well. It flopped a lot. I left it alone. I said, well, I'll take it up and I'll leave it. I left it, and everyone wants it. And see, the leaf is very similar to the Willowherb. That's the thing. A lot of plants have a leaf very similar to Willowherb, so you just have to be. You get a sixth sense after a while. Now, lovely gypsy white Achillea. That's native to Ireland, the single form, so that will grow anywhere. It will even grow in boggy, damp situations. But look at this amazing Philopendula. It's a dark one. Philopendula purpurea, something or other, but that is so easy to grow. We're being very lucky with our artichoke this year. Really well. Muted hydrangea arborescens. The common one is Annabelle, but that's one of the purpley ones. Some people say it's a bit sort of a muddy pink, but it is different. Salvia Caradonna, one of the best of those type of salvias, the easiest one to grow. Really worth having. And I hate doing this, but salvia. Yeah, just for the salvia. And Willowherb. Now, go at the back. I'm nothing personal. It's not personal with the Willowherb, you know. Oh yes. Counted this. I had it before. This is the Geranium. It's supposed to be manicata, but there is a hybrid one doing the rounds, and it doesn't have the big leaf. The only reason for growing Geranium is to get the massive leaf. That's the only reason, to get the leaf that size. Otherwise, you might as well be putting rhubarb in. So this, I was told that this is the genuine article, that next year it will have a leaf that's that size. And then it will stand out, it will contrast with all the smaller leaf plants. So we're given, it's been given a year. Now, I was told before when I put them down that I didn't have enough patience, that they take a while to build up to get really big leaves, and you need to water them a lot. So we actually, this is what we've done. Make it easy. We have a tap in there. So because you know you'll say you'll do it, oh well I'll water it, and then oh well I'll hang on to other stuff to put this. That's it. So I can just water that. Of course, when you always say, oh I better water this, I planted that last week. That's hydrangea Anthony Bullivant. Now we need to plant stuff. We need to plant stuff here to stop the kids running in. We plant some big spiky stuff. No, we won't. So what we're going to, we were thinking of getting the giant Venus flytrap. Get the giant ones for the kids, you know. But no, I don't think the government would allow it. It's funny, the young boys now are not great into plants when they come in, but when they see the Venus flytrap, they always get a little bit of grass or something to worry the jaws, and they just snap over it and they're just fascinated and they want to buy it, because the little boys, they like stuff. They like a little bit of anarchy. The fairy garden is coming on very well. It hasn't flowered yet. Well, there's a little bit of flower starting, except for the big Persicaria, polymorpha. What we're going to do here, we're going to put in a piece of wood that height, and we're going to mark it, and we're going to see how much it's grown. I reckon that's grown about that much per day. Now it's too far out, but it's just so nice that we're leaving it, and then we're going to chop it. We're going to remove it in about 2 months' time. Yes, we want to go back to the front again. That's the other, by the way, that's the other Filipendula. Purpurea. I'm sure we told it different. They're the same species. There's the light one and there's the dark one. The light one looks good amongst dark plants and the dark one looks good among light plants. Yes. We cut this hedge really hard back. It would come out, believe it or not, about 4 foot, and it was crowding everything. We put it right back, and there's a gap there behind it. We have to put something in. But this Philadelphus has come into its own as a result of not being crowded. Look how well it has done. It's called Virginal. It's just going out of flower now, but it has been absolutely. You can see how happy it is not being crowded. Stuff keeps coming into my mind because I'm seeing stuff the whole time. Fuchsias, that's Mrs Popple. That's the famous Mrs Popple. Fuchsias are very good this year. I don't understand why, because we had a terrible spring. Fuchsias, the best I've seen them in years, so I don't understand. Oh, two things. That rose there, I think it's going to be, it's David Austin's, called Tottering-By-Gently, and I could imagine that if it was really, really big. So I think it's going to be the business. I'm not 100% certain yet. The growth habit might be too rigid and upright. We'll see, but it's looking good. We're going to cut these back. They look untidy, and the foliage alone is good enough. Now we can see we have kids here, look. Unless they're pollinated. I don't think any plants are pollinated by pebbles, are they? Pebble pollinated. Or kids throw. That's the when you have gravel and you've got children, that's what happens. So we'll nothing we can do. We did the last video we did, we cut the hell out of this. Full of flowers. It's a Princess Juliana. It's a GM, and we absolutely butchered it. And look, back flowering again. All you might do is maybe remove some of the dead and the old leaves, but look, that's just telling you what happens when you do it. And we did it with this as well. Cut this back. It is heuchera back, and it's not great. It's not great. So what do we do? You can see in the centre we've got lovely fresh growth, but the old ones are terrible. So I think we have to have a committee meeting about that plant. Now here's the tall Secundaria gigantica, and it's fallen over and it's not madly happy, so we're cutting it back. It's just not madly happy, and my own feeling is it's first year there and it's grown too lush, and it'll settle down next year. It'll be much, but it's a far better plant than that. What else? Yeah, look at that. That's going to be amazing. That's one of the large leaves, Hydrangea asperis. That's going to have a flower that size. And that's looking good. The inula is looking good. But I don't know if it's got.
It's very amazing selection of plants.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We just learned something, David, about doing videos. Is you never do videos on a Sunday. And we should have copied that. Too many humans around. Oh, look at this. Ligularia The Rocket. Isn't that something else? We put a little one of those little shrubby potentillers. I just like the colour. And the jury's still out about this very floppy aster. I'm not 100% certain, but that's the new bed that was planted. Now what we did this year and last year, beginning of this year, we got rid of about 95% of our bamboos. We just had enough. They are just not control. We just found they're not controllable. An ordinary plant gets too big. Say that acer there got too big. It gets too big. You just get the saw out. 10 minutes work. Bamboo, same size. 10 hours, not 10 minutes work. 10 hours work. So they just, because it's all underground. So we've just cut back on all our bamboos. We've only 3 varieties left in the species. We've that one. We have that's a Fergacia, Chinese one. We have big Stachys, and we have one black bamboo Stachys niger as well. Everything else we took up. And this is an example. You see still the gap in the yew hedge. That was where the bamboo was. Now it's all planted up again. So and that is recovering. See it coming out. See the new growths. And what we'll do is we didn't cut the yew hedge back, and it's kind of too late now, because if we were to cut it back now we damage. Oh, look at those ferns, they're lovely. They were planted last year. I think that's Dierama Atrata. Really good. That was all bamboo in there as well, so the Eryncus is fantastic. It's really good, and that campanula. The best campanula to get is tall campanula. The only one to get is Campanula lactiflora. It comes in blues, shades of blue and white, and it's the only one worth getting. It's almost native. So and it will you see it. I've seen it in the east coast of England, grown in sort of semi-wild conditions. So, and problem, that's a super plant. The problem with the Eryncus is it's related to a stilby, but no, it's not related to a stilby. I think it's actually Rose family. A stilby is Saxifrage family. But the problem with it is it doesn't know when to stop, so you have to be careful. It tends to seed around, and you have to be ruthless, because this is going to flower. Our lovely sunflower. Morgan sun, and that's going to flower shortly, but in 5 years time the Eryncus will cloud it out and will be gone, so we're going to have to put manners on it, but not now, because it's still nice. There it is again, Campanula lactiflora, and we have planted some new aconidiums here, and the rabbits have them wrecked. There and there, and that one is half okay, so we'll see what happens. What else? Oh yes, this was a buddleia that we didn't cut back, and that's a monument to laziness. But it looks really good. Doesn't that look really good? The flat yellow and the pointy purple. It's not a great combination. Total fluky. Next year we'll hammer it back. Now, the side of the holly was planted. It was moved when we were doing work over there. It's not going to make the grey that's coming out. The Cotinus grace always puts a smile on your face. Everybody loves it.
So
I love differences, contrast all the time. Look at that. That's what I like. Is that good? This is what I wanted to show. That's the buddleia that we did butcher back, and you can see it's in flower bud, and I reckon that will be out when the butterflies come out. And people always say to me, oh, no butterflies this year, and I always say wait, because we've had the cold spring, so there's 2 or 3 weeks to wait. So in mid-July, butterflies are just going to appear overnight. The butterflies appear, and they particularly love that buddleia because it's white, and most of the butterflies are darkish, and they love to show off. You know, look at me. You know, they can't use they're not able to do that. The cameras or that type of stuff. But that's all they're short of doing. When you see them on the dark ones, they're the ones. They're the sort of introverts that butterflies are going that when they want to show off. You know, they go in the dark buddleia. Let's see, finish off. Let me see, how do we finish off? Oh yeah. I have to get the name of this aster, because I think it's the best aster in terms of neatness that you can get. But that's not the reason I'm showing this aster, because this is a video about Willowherb. Now, when you're hardwired, look. Here's the Willowherb. You have to find the Willowherb. Now, and we'll finish off here. What happened to that? You know what I was thinking of doing? I was thinking all the garden visitors, I'll give them a lend of a secateurs so they can actually cut the flowers off. Try not to break them off and leave them like that, okay? That's the video finished on a high note.